Hello everyone, it's Joe Carroll. Honored to be with you guys today on the Produce Like a Pro channel to feature a product that you guys may be interested in. We're going to take a look at it and kind of see what makes it tick. Warren and I were talking the other day, actually a couple of weeks ago. He gave me a list of products and he was like, I'd like to do a video showing the guys a walkthrough on these items. Do any of these spark your interest? And he got to this Tegeler Reverb, an analog reverb hardware unit that was tube-based, except for the fact that it was plug-in controlled. I've got to know what that's all about. What I have here today is I have a song that we just recorded the other night, kind of an organic thing, all real instruments, acoustic guitar, piano, etc. The female vocalist, though, was just off the charts good. I thought what we'd do is just kind of hear it in action. So I've got the song pulled up here, and I've got an aux send on her vocal, just like we would always do inside of Pro Tools, hitting an aux return track. And on that return track, I have the plug-in, which I installed right before we went live. Just went to their website and downloaded it. Just very straightforward. And you can choose between AAX and VST and whatnot. Remember, it is an analog device. So even though it's connected by Ethernet to control the plug-in, and for the plug-in to control the servo motors inside the unit, audio coming in and out of it is handled on XLR jacks on the back. So they're hitting my patch bay, and I have a hardware insert here, see, A11 and 12. So that's what we've got going on. And I will say that installing it, I was thinking about, oh gosh, sometimes Ethernet scares me. I'm just going to admit it, IP addresses and all of that kind of stuff. It was a breeze. Let's dive right in. So what I'm going to mute the reverb to where you hear just like her vocal in the track, completely dry. Sorry, Gloria Anderson, for playing your vocal completely dry for the guys, but here we go.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay, obviously needs reverb, so let's do it in our factory default position, except for the fact I'm going to turn the mix all the way up because we're on an aux return, so that's a biggie, so we don't want any dry signal. Here we go. Let's turn the level of this all the way up. It may be a little too much, but who knows?
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood. Bet there's pencil lines hiding on an old door.
I don't know what that patch is. That's just the factory default patch, but that's actually really that's really nice. It's very rich. A little long for this song, so let me turn down the decay time just a little bit and let's check it out.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay. All right, so as I was turning the decay time, we have a camera going over here too, so we could probably edit that to where you can see it. The plug-in is controlling the servo motors inside the unit, and I could hear it adjusting itself in real time. That's cool, man. Technology, right? That's like magic.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Yeah, let's hear that in the track.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood.
I like that. It gives her some space, some very nice, elegant, rich space. But she still sounds kind of upfront and dry. The pre-delay here is about halfway up. So let's experiment with that kind of stuff on some different patches. Right now, I want to just go right into the patches. So I'm going to click on presets here, vocals. Okay, looks like we got a selection here, and I guess this is where you make your own. Let's go into a large room. Let's check that out. Go back to the home page. I could just hear it. I could hear it resetting. Magic.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay, the decay time is turned all the way off. So let's inch that up.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Let's hear that in the mix.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood.
Okay, so a little reverb lesson. Pre-delay. It's a big deal, right? It can make the vocalists sound like they're further away from us, closer to us, whatever. You'll notice in this patch, the pre-delay is turned to 0. So there no pre-delay. And you can hear the reverb. The reverb is much more apparent because there's no dry signal reaching us. Let's back that down just a little bit, okay?
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new.
Let's hear that. Let's hear it by itself so we can really focus on the quality of the reverb tail.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay. Let's play with the density. Let's turn the density way down. There should be fewer repeats, more audible individual echoes as opposed to a wash.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood.
Okay, now we'll turn the density back up to where it was, not quite full blast, but close, and it'll be more of a consistent wash.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay, cool. But I think for this song, I would like something, I can really see where I would use that patch, but not for this song. Let's try something richer. Let's see, what do we have here? Vocal Hall. Let's see what that's all about. And there, doing its thing.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
A little much.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay, let's just turn the decay time. You know what? No, let's play with size instead of decay time. I'm going to turn it up. There's going to be too much, but I think that'll really help us hear the changes the size parameter is making.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand.
Now let's jack it way up to hear an extreme difference.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
I like that. So something that I do a lot on plugins that have a size parameter as well as a decay time, which a lot of them do, is sometimes rather than just adjusting the decay time, I will play with a combination of decay and size to just try to get the that bloom that I'm looking for.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
So let's go straight up, 12 o'clock.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Just a little bit longer, maybe a little more pre-delay.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Let's hear that in the track, and we'll adjust the output level to try to blend it, in the track where it belongs.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood. Bet there's pencil lines hiding on an old door frame that could
Very cool. Let's try a couple more vocal patches before we start moving into other things. Vocal slapback. Let's just see what that sounds like.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
On this song, that would actually sound really, really good.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood. Bet there's pencil lines hiding on an old door frame that could tell you.
That one does not make me mad whatsoever. All right, so let's try, have we tried, what's this choir thing all about? Let's try that. I'm hearing it reset.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay, that's huge. So for, a song like this, we'd take the density down.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Ooh, I actually like that.
There's a house on the market in my...
Let's check it out in the track.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood. There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood with a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood.
I like that one too. If I knew I was keeping this, which I just may. Sorry, Warren, you may not get this mailed back to you. I guess you just save it right here. Let's change the name to because I haven't used this yet. Let's call it Joe C Vocal. You know, hopefully spell my name properly and hit save. And then I'm going to change it to something else.
There's a house on the market in my...
That is wild. But anyway, I'm going to go up to the recalls. Let's see if I can find where my saved. Oh, it's okay. So it shows up in the category where I saved it. Nice. You know, I wanted to hear this one right. I think it was this one we hadn't checked out yet. That's just wild hearing it do. I need to get over the fact that it's sitting here moving, and then I can hear it and focus on the sound.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Okay, cool.
With a fresh coat of paint.
Too dense.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Well, one thing that I do a lot on vocals and things like that, unless I'm really looking for that old school hall thing, I turn the density and diffusion down. I don't want so much of a wash that I can't understand the words. And then the more percussive elements, drums, and even somewhat, piano, but anything percussive, turn that density and that diffusion up because you don't want to hear the sound of like all the individual repeats. You just want the decay time. But on a vocal, it can get a little overwhelming. So sometimes you may find a patch that you love the tone on, but it's just a little too thick. You're like, well, that'd be great if it wasn't so heavy and lush. Just take your diffusion or density down a little bit, and it may set it right in the track. Let's do this. I think we got the idea on the vocal patches. Let's, you know what? Is there anything else we'd want to try on the vocal? Berlin. Let's see what Berlin is all about here.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
That's actually a really pretty patch.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
That one is intriguing me a little bit. Let's turn the size and the density up on that one and give it a listen.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood.
Ooh, we may be onto something.
There's a house on the market in my old neighborhood. With a fresh coat of paint and brand new hardwood.
I like it. All right, let's switch to something else. Let's go to a different instrument. Okay, so what I've done is I've disabled the reverb that I had on the acoustic guitar, the piano, and I think the steel guitar. I think it was hitting all of those. I put our plug-in on and our hardware insert on. So I'm going to mute Gloria's beautiful voice, and we're going to listen to the guitar and piano reverb for a second in the track. And I've got the factory default setting back on. Oh, okay. I need to put the mix back up. I can see that now. I was like, I'm not hearing very much of it. That patch on acoustic guitar is actually really nice on a spacious part like this, where it's not the real busy strummy thing. That's beautiful. Here's dry with a touch of the default. I like that a lot, actually. Let's see, guitars. I wonder if these are kind of meant for acoustic or electric. Let's just kind of hear some of them. Another nice patch. So let's turn the decay time up just a little bit. Let's see what that sounds like. I'm using too much of it so we can be sure and hear it good, but I like the patch. Let's see, what else do we have? Stage small, winter, summer, or fall. Okay, let's try that one. Oh wow. That is, let's take the density down a little bit. That's pretty. Let's hear that on the piano. I think there's a section down here in the song where he actually plays kind of like a solo. Here's the piano dry. Here it is with a little bit of, what's it, fall, winter, spring, or whatever that patch was named, something like that. Okay, cool. Sometimes I you know, especially on drums, and so you hit stop, and you can hear the tail, kind of know what you're working with. Let's go, ooh, synth. Let's try ambience. Let's try ambience on synth. That's a pretty tail, very smooth. You know, you don't always want a pretty tail. Sometimes a more sparse, dare I say, grainy or whatever, you know, works. And I'm hearing patches of both types, which is cool. I'm glad I'm hearing a lot of variety there. Cozy corner. Oh, rich verb. Let's try rich verb. Who doesn't want a rich verb? Too much of it, but that's a pretty patch. Let's hear that in the track. Yeah, once you get it where it belongs, you know, just in the track, that's very pretty. I changed songs here because the backbeat in that one was so soft. So I got something with a little bit more, very natural sounding, but more, you know, solid, strong backbeat. All right, so that said, same thing. I inserted the plug-in on the aux return that I had going on this song. You'll see different sends have different amounts. The tom-toms are getting a little, snare top is getting a little, and that's maybe the snare sample getting a little. And then just, you know, the hardware insert right under it. And let's just get busy. So we'll go to our default setting and turn the mix all the way up and just hear it on drum. It's probably not meant for drums at all, but let's hear it anyway. Actually, tighten up that decay a little bit, and that's not bad, right? Yeah, not bad at all. All right, so let's try some presets. Let's go over here. Space rooms, why not? Okay, that's probably not something I'm gonna use on drums, but I bet maybe, let's tighten up the decay and the size a little bit. Obviously, that's an effect reverb. You know, that's probably not in every song kind of deal. Find a spot for it, right? But let's pull up the rolling snare. That's another huge reverb. Let's try this one. I'll let it recall. It's trying to do its thing. Okay, I'm needing to push my return up to hear more because I've got, you know, I'm using the levels that I used on the record for a plug-in, and they're not quite heavy-handed enough, so I'm having to juice this a little bit. But I like the sound of that room. I liked it on the tom-tom. Check that out. Yeah, let's turn the decay up just a little bit. That's kind of getting cool. Let's see. Turn it down a little bit. Okay, without. That's a nice room sound, a kind of a natural ambience. I definitely like that one. I should probably take time to save that one so I'll have to try to remember. A kick room, I think maybe it was. Tight and smooth. Let's check this out. That's interesting. That's another very usable drum space to me. I like that. Tight and smooth. Okay, let's see. Let's just go through a handful of these because this is fun. Finding new things we can use. Ooh, I like the tom-toms on that one. Just gonna start getting a little more crazy with the extremes just so we can really hear how much of a difference we're making. That's not a bad patch. Yeah, let's hear that one before and after. Very nice. Let's take time to go through a couple more because this is fun stuff for me. Here we go. Okay, let's go back to 1980 whatever, and let's do an intentionally really big obnoxious reverb, and let's just see what we come out with. It's pre-delay. Well, it depends. Are we trying to be Phil Collins or not? What I'll do is I'm going to solo up just the snare, because I can't remember if I'm using on the snare and the sample. Okay, got it. All right, so let's see what we got going on. Okay. There you have it. That is a big old snare reverb. Well, I live to make good stories. Let me put the drums back up. Yeah. Obviously too much for 2023, but why not? Let's drum haul. I'm really enjoying. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Berlin. I don't really know what that is, but there were some interesting settings in here on. I think it was vocals or keyboards earlier. Let's hear a couple of them. What's impressing me is okay. So I'm changing these, and I get it. It's an algorithm inside of there doing a lot of this, but there's a lot of changes happening too. It is snappy on the preset changes. Wow. This one is cool. Turn that down to proper levels. Yeah, that Berlin folder has some really cool stuff in there. My first impressions are that it's just fun. I'm a fan of reverb. As you know, in a lot of genres, reverb, we're in a world now where reverb is really coming back, in pop and various things. Sometimes it's not just that there's more reverb than what we had 10 years ago, but it's that we're looking for different. Right? I mean, have you noticed that? You listen to Top 40 radio and there's some really wow things out there. And so for me, I can hear the tube influence on it. You probably can as well. so an algorithm being, funneled through an analog circuitry to hear what we're hearing. There's some really interesting and unique patches in here. I'm always looking for more, to combine with my standards, your standard stuff, right? We have our Lexicon 480 or our Bricasti kind of standards, but it's fun to have new and exciting stuff to work in there with it, so our artists or the people that listen to the records hear something new and exciting. And that's what this is. I mean, this is definitely different, which is, I think that's its biggest selling point. The hardware reverb that's digitally controlled is a big deal, but that it sounds different. This does not sound like any other piece that I've pulled up recently. So anyway, a lot of fun. Thank you for watching. Happy mixing.